Hi, this is Jay from 24voltmod.com. Today I'm going to show you how to install the Trinity Easy Active Pickup Install System. It's the first of its kind solderless installation system designed initially to install FIshman Fluence, but it also works for Seymour Duncan and Hardwired EMGs or any other 3-wire active pickup system. That's why we called it Trinity. We have built and tested this system extensively over the last 2 years, refining the product to be as easy as possible to install. We build each unit by hand and test it thoroughly. We build the system using the highest quality parts. This is the Trinity Solderless Easy Active Pickup Install System. It includes everything you need to install FIshman Fluence or any other 3-wire active pickup system. For FIshman Fluence pickups, you will have push-pull controls to control the voicing on the FIshman Fluence. For EMG, Seymour Duncan, or any other active 3-wire pickup system, you will only have standard control pots. There won't be any push-pull. This configuration is 2-volume, 2-tone with the pickup selector switch and output jack. Ideally, this is suited for a Les Paul style guitar, but can also be used for any other guitar that has 2-volume, 2-tone control. We also offer a configuration for 1-volume and 1-tone for Strat style guitars or any other guitar that uses 1-volume, 1-tone. With either configuration, you could select the pickup selector that you need for your guitar. This setup is for dual humbucking guitar pickups. We're working on single pickup, single coil, and bass configurations that will be available in the future. If you can use a screwdriver, you can install active pickups. Before getting started with installation, of course, you'll have to remove all your guitar's old electronic hardware, the pickups, the control pots, the selector switch, and the output jack. We provide all of this with the kit. The only thing you will need to provide will be some basic hand tools, your new pickups, and the wiring that comes with your new pickups. After removal of the old hardware, begin by routing the pickup selector wiring through the guitar body, followed by the neck pickup and voice control wiring. Then proceed to route the bridge pickup and voice control wiring through the body. Next, make the connections to the neck and bridge pickups by plugging in the wires into the corresponding pin headers on the pickups. Once complete, mount the pickups to the guitar body and restring the instrument. If using our Quick Connect pickup selector switch, go ahead and install the selector switch to the Quick Connect wiring and mount the switch to the guitar body. Once all the wires have been routed through the guitar body, pull them neatly out of the control cavity to begin installation. Once you have your cables routed and your pickups mounted, your guitar restrung, we can begin installation of the Trinity Solderless Easy Active Pickup Install System. The Trinity Solderless system will come with the hardwired pickup selector switch, but we do offer an optional universal replacement solderless switch, and that's what we've went ahead and installed in this guitar here. Once you've got your wires all routed through the guitar body, installation is as simple as just screwing the correct colored wires into the terminal block of the Trinity Solderless system. This control board is the heart of the entire system. You'll want to start by removing the hardware from the backing board. Once you've removed the nuts and the washers from the hardware, go ahead and gently remove it from the backing board, all as one piece. Once you've got the system removed from the mounting board, go ahead and remove the twist tie from the output jack, and we're going to run the output jack through the guitar body and just pull it out the other end. Now we can go ahead and install the control pots to the proper holes. Each control pot requires a 3/8 inch mounting hole. If you have an import guitar, widening of the holes may be necessary, as some import guitars use a smaller shaft. Just insert each control pot into the corresponding hole for neck volume, bridge volume, neck tone, and bridge tone. And once you have them pushed through, go ahead and flip the guitar over, and we'll install a washer and a nut on each one. Once you've got them all mounted and the washers installed, you're going to want to use a little wrench or a socket. typical size is going to be 13 millimeters. You may want to use something that doesn't mar, and you just want to snug them up just a little bit, being sure not to over tighten, as you don't want to crack the finish of your guitar body. Once you have them fairly snug, we can proceed to the next step. The next step is going to be to mount the output jack. Depending on your guitar, the installation of the jack is going to be different. For this guitar, it's just going to slip onto this plate, and then we're going to add the nut and the washer from the output jack to the plate. And then we're just going to snug it down and just make sure that the terminal insulators are in place before you push it back into the guitar. And once we have that, we can just insert it back into the hole for the output jack on the guitar, and then we'll just reinstall the screws. Now that we have all the hardware mounted, we just need to connect the proper wires to the screw terminal blocks of the Trinity Solderless system. First thing we want to do is focus on the bridge ground wire. It should be connected to the bridge of your guitar. You can see my wire is very, very short. There are several different ways we can connect this. So if you look on the wiring harness itself, you'll see that we have a wire labeled bridge ground, and we're going to connect that wire to the bridge wire from our guitar. We're going to connect that using a crimp terminal. To use this crimp terminal, it's very important that the wires you're going to connect not be stripped. This wire, our bridge ground wire, is already stripped, so we want to cut that flush to the insulation, just like that. Once again, I repeat, you do not want the wire to be stripped if you're going to use the crimp terminal. Take the bridge ground wire from the Trinity Solderless system and your bridge ground wire from your guitar and insert them into the crimp terminal. Crimp terminal will have 2 slots for 2 wires. So you want to insert your wires all the way in, and then using a pair of pliers, you want to crimp that terminal together with equal force all the way across the little orange button, just like that. Now we have our bridge wire connected, and you'll notice once you squeeze it, there's a little bit of a dielectrical grease in those that'll squeeze out. You can just wipe that off with a paper towel. The final step is just to install the rest of the wires to the appropriate terminals on the Trinity Solderless system. Using the provided screwdriver, begin by opening up every terminal on the Trinity Solderless system by turning the screwdriver counterclockwise. And just as a note, the terminals open from top to bottom. So as you open the terminal, you'll see that it will open up and the channel will move down, and then when you close it, it will close from bottom to top. Once you have all the terminals open, you can begin installing the correct wires into the correct terminals. A wiring diagram is included, so you can reference your wiring diagram. On this side, you'll have your neck hot, then your neck ground, your bridge hot, and your bridge ground. Now the white wire in our FIshman Fluence set is the neck pickup, and the white wire inside of that is the hot. The bare wire will be the ground. So what you want to do is just strip those wires if they're not already stripped and twist them and then insert them into the screw terminal. You need about 1/4 inch stripped off the hot wire and every other wire that's going to go into the screw terminal, and then insert it into the screw terminal and tighten it down. You don't have to over tighten them. They just need to be pretty snug. And then we'll just take the ground wire and insert it into the terminal, and we'll screw it down as well. Next, we'll install our bridge wire. And on FIshman Fluence, the bridge wire has a black outer jacket and a white inner jacket for the hot. And we'll insert that into the Trinity Solderless system. Give it a gentle tug. And then we'll insert the ground wire the same way. Give that a gentle tug. Once you have your neck and your bridge wires installed, you can go ahead and move to the bottom of the board. This will only apply if you're using FIshman Fluence with voice control. Standard 3-wire pickups like Seymour Duncan Blackouts, Dragonfire, or Hardwired EMGs will not use the first 4 terminals on this block. Each terminal is labeled yellow, orange, green, and blue. And those are going to be your Fishman voice control wires. So we're just going to cut and strip those to 1/4 of an inch. And then we'll begin inserting the proper color into the proper terminal. Once you have your voice control wires installed like so, next we want to install the power wires from our pickups. Those are going to be the 2 red wires that come off of your pickups. And what we want to do is strip those and twist them together. And then we're going to insert them into the last terminal on the bottom row of blocks and tighten it down. The last connections we have to make are for our pickup selector switch wires on the other side of the Trinity Easy Active Pickup Install Control Board. We'll have this set of 4 terminals. They'll be labeled neck, bridge, out, and ground. So neck is going to be our red wire. Bridge is going to be our white wire. Out is going to be our green wire. And ground will be our black. Once again, going back to the bridge ground wire, if you have enough length from your bridge ground wire, you can strip it and twist it around this wire and then insert it into the terminal together to act as your bridge ground. And your final connections should look about like this. Just as a note, the next to last terminal on the bottom row is not currently used. We do have an upgrade plan for that in the future. Once you have all your connections made and everything's hooked up, before we go ahead and do our cable management and button everything down, we're going to go ahead and test the system by installing our battery. You can install a 9-volt battery if you choose. I'm going to be installing the 24-volt mod, and you can pick this up on our store as well, 24voltmod.com. I'm just going to flip the guitar over gently. I'm going to plug this into my interface on my computer. So I'm going to go ahead and plug in a guitar cable. And then make sure our volumes are turned all the way up. Check the bridge pickup. This is the bridge volume and the bridge tone. And the push-pull for voice number 2, I believe. Check the middle position. And we'll check neck position. And everything seems to be functioning fine. As a note, standard configuration on a 2-volume, 2-tone makes both volumes work as a master in the middle position. So turning either one down will control the volume. It's great for blending the pickups together. You can have one louder than the other to blend them together the way you want. But once you have everything installed, you should hear no buzzing, no sound, and that'll indicate that everything's installed correctly. And once you have that completed, then you can go ahead and take care of your wire management. I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Once you've got your cables all zip tied and tucked away, you can go ahead and reinstall your cover plates. Once you've got your cover plates reinstalled, you can go ahead and reinstall your guitar knobs. These are the original ones that came with the guitar. I don't really like that look too much, so I'm going to change these. You can pick up the Trinity Solderless Easy Active Pickup Install System over on our website, 24voltmod.com. You can also pick up any colored knobs you want. You can also pick up the 24-volt mod, the original 9-volt battery replacement for active guitar pickups. And you can also pick up our completely solderless replacement pickup selector switches, available in blade style, toggle, and black, chrome, and gold for easy pickup selector switch replacement, no soldering required. This has been Jay from 24voltmod.com. I thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. Have a great day.